be a fool.
We're gonna get started with our program. We would like to start off. Well, first of all, I'll tell you what we're here for. We're here for President Obama has up until November, and then we need to bring this to his attention that this man, Leonard Peltier, has been in prison for almost 40 years now, unjustly, and we need to do something about this. So we have been working hard to try to bring attention to this for people who don't know what's going on. And in order to do this is what we came up with, as well as other things. We're not going to stop here. This is a culmination of a lot of things. And we're going to just keep right on going until we actually get this man released. So let me introduce myself. My name is Gray Wolf. I am the director of AIM Southern California, and I'm so honored that so many people showed up. We have a huge contingent of AIM from Central Texas. I'm so good friends, very, very solid people that I'm so happy to have here. But we wanted to start our program. This is one of the things that people seem to forget. The land we are on is not ours. This belongs to the Tongva people. And what we want to do is we want to bring up a Tongva elder, and I'm going to introduce them. This is could I have Robert John Knapp and Gloria Arianas come up? And we want them, this is their land, and we want them to, this is California, my tribe, we're not from here, we're from Tucson, Arizona area, and out of respect, we want the people here to be acknowledged, because we forget sometimes that this is not our land, that this is Tongva land. So we're going to bring up Gloria right now, and Robert John Knapp, and they will do a little opening prayer for us. Please welcome Robert John Knapp and Gloria Arianas.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you for honoring me by asking me to speak. I don't know how to do it your way, so I'm going to do it my way. I'm asked here to come here and speak about Native people, including one of our own, Leonard Peltier. When we were first greeted by the people who came from a different land, our only crime was that we owned the land. And as such, all throughout this Turtle Island, we were attacked, punished, betrayed, made friends, intermarried. Many things happened. A lot of trauma. Boarding schools, trauma, all kind of trauma. And so we call that historical trauma. Every Indian has historical trauma from what happened before. And when Leonard was over there in Pine Ridge, and the FBI came, and whatever happened, happened. But he was arrested, abducted out of Canada, and he was convicted on suspected circumstantial evidence. He was given 2 life terms. So I'm addressing this primarily to President Obama. My prayer is that he receives this message. And we're begging you, because of the historical trauma, you release Leonard and you will free, to some extent, all of us. Every one of us will be freed from this trauma, at least some of it. Leonard was given 2 life terms. I spent 25 years running ceremonies in prisons, men, women, and youth. I know what that is like. In prison, 20 years is considered a life sentence. Leonard got 2 life consecutive terms. That's 40 years. He served it. He's been in 40 years. He did not get the death penalty. But if you keep him in there, that's what he will get. He's sick. You need to release him. Our communities all over are sick. You need to release him. Before you leave office, please consider doing this for all Native people. Whether we know him or not, it's irrelevant. It's historical trauma. There are those agencies who want to keep him in there for their reasons. It's their symbol of you hurt them, they will keep you in there till you die. He's our symbol. You fight for your people, you will go there till you die. Please get past the symbol. Release this man. Release him so that we can all breathe better. All over Turtle Island, it's this way. Every one of us carries a piece of him in there. I'm a veteran. I get PTSD, and parts of me are different places all the world. It's the same. Every Indian in this country has PTSD. So we're asking you, in a good way, to release him before it's too late. So, what we're asking for is justice. When they came there, yes, there was a battle. Who did it? Nobody knows. But you had to punish somebody, so you chose him. Let him go. Just let him go.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Iweha sangwe diso, iweha. Iweha itinoa, iweha. Iweha ongwe ope, iweha. Iweha aluna, iweha. We say thank you to you, you who hold up the sky. Thank you. We ask you for nothing. We give our heart and mind to you. Thank you for taking care of us, of our mother. We say to you, our mother, thank you for feeding us, clothing us every day. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for the night. We say to each other, thank you. Thank you for being Thank you for smiling at one another. Thank you from my heart. Thank you to Iluna, spirits of all the land, water, air, to the trees, which we are so intimate with. We exchange breath with you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing our relatives to rest on your limbs. Thank you for building our homes and giving of yourself. We say thank you to you, our relatives. Thank you to the medicine plants, because many of us are very sick. Thank you too to the food plants for nourishing us, for the strawberries, the first fruit of the year. Thank you to the ones that feed us. Used to be buffalo, deer. Now it's cows and chickens. We honor you. Please don't forget us. Continue in remembering your instruction. We say thank you to the water. Water is life. It's in each of us. We're born in it. Thank you to the air. Allows us to speak and sing. Moves the seeds around. Say thank you. Thank you to our uncle, the sun. We thank you for coming and ask you to come back each day. Thank you to our grandmother, the moon. Has an effect on all the people who give birth. From the fish to the two-legged. We say thank you. Thank you to the deer. Thank you to the critters under the ground. We don't know your name, but we abuse you. We think creepy crawlers are nothing. We step on you, poison you. I beg you to forgive us and continue with your instruction. Lastly, we look at the stars that guide us. We say thank you to you. Thank you to everything. And to everything, we say to you, thank you. Aho.
We'd like to bring up Gloria Arianas to say a few words. Again, remember, this is Tongva land, and we must respect that.
Abaha, miha. Hello, welcome. Nuotokur Tongva. Metwain, Besagasumhamit. Hello, welcome to Tobangna. This was the village of Yagna here. We always had our lands built where there was high mountain areas and running water. So that was very important. There's still water running through Olvera Street. That was our sacred waters that we had to bathe in every morning. I have lived here in California, Los Angeles, my entire life. I have never left. I am a true native. I am Native American. I am native to Los Angeles County. I welcome you to our lands and thank you for being here. Thank you, AIM, for inviting me. I am very honored for this. Thank you, Robert John, for your beautiful words. I'm very honored with your words. Robert and John and I have worked with each other in the past, and it's always been a good time. So I thank you for being here, and our purpose for being here is to bring awareness, more awareness to people about Leonard Peltier. We know the history. He's been incarcerated for so long on very not very proven facts. So what we ask you is, Lydia made an announcement about postcards, and fill those postcards out. Take some with you, pass them out wherever you're going to other events, and try to get people Go on a campaign and just get people aware. I know we've done this on social media, and we get people from all over the world sending in support and writing on behalf of our causes. But this is very important, like we say, like Robert John said, you know, because of his age, he really needs to be home. He needs to be around family. Stop the torture of this man. You know, let him come home. Let him live the rest of his life in comfort and in peace. The prayers are always powerful, and we thank you for your prayers. They have power. They will carry him. So what we ask is that you do a campaign of awareness. You can call the White House and give your opinion. Call your local politicians and ask them to take those messages to the White House. And Obama, yes, he needs to step up. He's been stepping up. He saved the Apache lands recently. So he needs to step up more for this one man. I mean, we've heard of some of the, when they release somebody, and you wonder why, when, you know, there's other people who have been there. And yes, Native people have suffered in incarcerations, and we have been, you know, it's always easy to take people who don't have power, money, you know, don't have a nice attorney, so you get railroaded, and we all know that history. And we know that a lot of people suffer from these things. So, but in this case, we want to concentrate on Leonard Peltier. So I thank you for allowing me to be here and give these words. I hope you will take your messages out to the communities. I hope you will just keep pushing for this. I think Obama has something like 200 and some days left in office, so we need to really, really let this message come out. Thank you. You're welcome.
The next speaker is not only the director of AIM Central Texas. This gentleman is Lipan, Apache, and Cheyenne, but he's also a very good friend. I want to bring up, and this gentleman saw that this is an issue that is so important that he drove with a huge contingent of his people from Central Texas, AIM Central Texas, I'm sorry. And I'd like to bring up Mr. David Ortiz.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Like Grey Wolf was saying, we traveled from San Antonio, Houston area. We're all AIM Central Texas. You'll notice the shirts everybody's got on. It was a pleasure to show up. Returning the favor, AIM Southern Cal came down to Texas and helped us with a few issues there. So it was only right to return the favor. So I'm here to, like Grey was saying, I'm here to represent my mom's Lipan Apache blood and my dad's Southern Cheyenne blood. This issue is very important. Love him or hate him, the fate of Leonard rests with Obama. You know, some people hate him, some people love him. You know, I'm neutral. All I want is for him to release our brother. Leonard's been incarcerated far too long. My older brother, who took his journey 3 years ago, Wambli Tate, he was very active in the Leonard Peltier Defense Committee. He, along with David Hill, Ben Carnes, they were all very active. About a month ago, there was a video on Facebook of some gentleman, I'm not gonna name him, announcing that he had gotten a word from some state politician in Michigan that Leonard was going to get released. You know, that kind of infuriated me because that's not the way that it works. The first people that are going to be informed of this is his attorneys and Leonard himself. So for this person to put it out there, wanting to be the first person to, I guess, count coup or something, that was wrong. Like, because you have David Hill, you have Ben Carnes, who have been very active, you know, for this person to jump the gun, and a lot of his followers also posted it on there. Like Ben Carnes says, Leonard's not going to be free till he goes up to the Sundance tree. That's when it's going to be free, not before. So we're very happy to be here. Thank you to AIM Southern Cal for inviting us, and I urge you to get a hold of Obama, contact the White House, postcards, phone calls. The time is now, when we need to put it in overdrive to free our brother. Because Obama leaves office without releasing Leonard, I'm afraid Leonard will never be released. I don't see a Republican president doing it. I don't see Donald Trump doing it. I don't see Clinton doing it anytime soon. He can't afford another 4 years in there. He's sick. He needs to be released. What they've done to the American Indian movement, what they've done to our brother, it just baffles me. Why is he still in there? He needs to be released. He needs to come home. He needs to come to the Sundance tree. Thank you.
When we were trying to put this together, we were looking for speakers, and we were having a hard time getting speakers. All of a sudden, we have so many great speakers, and you guys are going to see what's coming up. But right now, one of those speakers, which I'm very, very happy that she's here, is Amina Mirza Kauzi. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, from the American Muslim Community, and also Executive Director of the National Lawyers Guild of Los Angeles. So give her a hand.
Good morning and greetings of peace. Thank you, Grey Wolf and Lydia and AIM for allowing me the privilege of speaking about Leonard and his case. I also want to briefly acknowledge all of you who have come from far distances. I come from Orange County, so I can't imagine coming from, Texas and Arizona. In Islam, we have a saying that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that if you journey to Friday prayer, each step that you make towards that Friday prayer, it is blessed. So may each mile and each step you've taken to be here today, to all of you, may it all be blessed. I represent the National Lawyers Guild. To us, this case is simple. It is very simple. It is a case of gross injustice. It is a case of a simple remedy, and that is to let Mr. Peltier, my brother Leonard, free. Grant him clemency. The United States President Obama, is one of the most powerful people in the world, and if he can't do something so simple, then we need more change. We need to fight for more change. And I wanted to acknowledge Brother Leonard for his courage and all that he's done to keep us inspired, because his case symbolizes all that can go wrong in our justice system, but it also symbolizes the possibilities of what can go right. And we can begin to right the injustices of the past. And it starts here, and it starts with freeing this brave and noble man and granting him clemency. Thank you all for being here, and please reach out to me as I reach out to you to join this cause. Thank you.
Our next speaker, again, I'm a very fortunate guy, because not only do I get to do what I do, but I also get to meet these fantastic people like Dave Ortiz. And they become such good friends that I always thank Creator for giving me the life he's given me. Another good friend, and also a member of my tribe, not only a good person, but a long-time spokesman for the Leonard Peltier clemency and for his release, my good friend Michael Horse. I'd like to bring Michael up here. Michael, you might know, is not only a great person, but a good actor. He's been in a lot of movies and a lot of different things. But Michael.
When my wife met me, she says I don't date actors. I said, you ain't seen me work. Let's go to the video store. I said, is that acting? She went, no, we can do it. It's nice to be down. I grew up here in San Fernando in Pacoima. I remember going to school as a little boy and them making me every day say the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm sure it's the same with all of you, but I knew in my neighborhood if you were red, black, or brown, that wasn't exactly true. I've asked many friends of mine who are really knowledgeable about the law. I said, if you have a case and you have witness tampering and evidence tampering and false ballistics and illegal extradition, wouldn't any one of these things be cause for retrial? And the answer I get is, you'd think. You know, Mr. Obama and anybody that's in charge here, if you want these young people that are growing up here, if you want them to believe what you're telling them, if you want them to believe that this is the finest, fairest judicial system in the world, then you better make it so. You better prove it. Leonard is my friend and he has suffered long enough. It is time that he comes home. Mitakuyasan.
Thank you, Michael. Our next speaker is a lady that I've worked with for quite some time. We actually were the original people who put Los Angeles, Idle No More Los Angeles together. I was the founder, along with the two other gentlemen, Brock Conway and Robert McDonald. The three of us put Idle No More Los Angeles together to speak out on the issues that were happening up in Canada. And I met this lady at that time, and we have become not only friends, but now she works with me with AIM Southern California. I want to bring up Lydia Ponce, who is Mayo and Quechua.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here, and I wanted to point out some simple strategies for this particular event that everyone can do. As I see people videotaping and snapping pictures, we intentionally made this a paper-free and a very good way to make it environmentally sensitive, because these posters that are blown up will share with the information, the vital information of what can you do to take action to support Leonard after today. And that includes social media, that includes emails, phone calls, having campaigns of your own, having gatherings, putting the word out, and calling the White House. I believe the White House number is 202-456-111, and they actually happen to know me by name now because we've been calling so often, and they actually get worried when I don't call. Being that I have a cold and cough, I actually have a handkerchief. I'm not trying to be Zapatista. I'm not that badass. With regards to water, we offer clean canteens. The bathrooms are across the street. You can enter through the City Hall building if you'd like to. You just have to carry identification, so that way you can clear security. And the bathrooms are on the first floor, second floor, and the third floor. With regards to Leonard, I know that as a little girl, 9 years old, and trying to explain to my mother that we needed to go to Wounded Knee because the people there needed food, the civil rights, social justice movement was in black and white. There was no color TV, back in dinosaur times. But the important thing was what she said to me was, if we can't take them food there, then why don't we feed someone here? And that was in San Pedro. And so that's what we did, and ever since then we've been campaigning to make sure that people are housed, are fed, and that we take care of our elderly. And that's just been a natural notion. With regards to Leonard, I want to actually bring about that this weekend, this Sunday, is Father's Day, and he's a father. He's a grandfather, as many of you are today. So please don't take that for granted. Make sure that you make your calls on Monday morning, or even right now, step away and make that phone call, because he's an elder who needs to be released as his health is failing, and later on we have someone who's going to speak to that matter to campaign for his medical support. I'm getting choked up. With that, I want you to continue to send prayers and good thoughts and good words, and please do take additional postcards so that way you can send them to any other group efforts that you may have. And we're not alone. Look around you. Every single one of us can do something for his clemency, and that's my main point. We can all do something for his clemency, and thank you for being here. It's an honor. Thank you.
I might add that Lydia was very instrumental in, all of AIM Southern California was very instrumental in putting this together, but Lydia has really worked hard. She did the program, tried to get me all the speakers, and forgot to give me the card. But I don't know where I would be without Lydia, and a very incredible person that has done so much. Our next speaker, again from the Tongva people, another good friend and someone that I actually met up in Texas. He's part of AIM Central Texas. I would like to bring up Mr. Frankie Orona, and he's going to say a few words. Again, we always have to understand that whose land we are on, and this is Tongva land that we are on here. So let's be very respectful of that, Mr. Frankie Orona.
Hello, good day. Thank you. First, I just want to say thank you to the elders, Uncle Robert John Knapp and Grandma Spirit Blanket Gloria, coming out and sharing their words, and thank the spirits of this land, our people of this land, for watching over us and having this a beautiful day for us to gather and come together. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and spending time in your life to come together for an important issue, an important action. So I'm grateful for that. And, you know, I can't say that much more than what's already been said. You know, I mean, Robert John pretty much covered all the aspects of the case and everything. So all I can add is, you know, there's injustice on so many different levels, and again, like he said, it's like this affects just not him, our brother that went in there as a brother and as a young man, and now as an elder and an older man now, and it's like we want him to come home and spend time with the family and the community. And it's not just about him; it's about all of us. Like Robert John says, you know, this issue affects us all, and it will affect our young people for future generations if we don't bring that type of awareness to our younger youth, and let them know that they need to educate themselves to try to help in these situations and prevent these situations from happening. So again, you know, he's done, like Robert John said, you know, he's done his 2 life terms. You know, it's the time's there, the time's up, and they need to just go ahead and let him out. But it's situations like this and events like this, and bringing our people together and bringing our elders out and our youth out to work together to teach and to pass on that teaching of wanting to care and be willing to turn a sacrifice into an offering because you're choosing to want to do it. And that's important, especially walking this path and walking this road and trying to stay connected. It's important that we don't forget, you know, those teachings and forget those elders that are in our lives that help us to stay connected and remember how it is to discipline ourselves so we can, you know, continue to teach ourselves and continue to teach our future generations, because that's why we're here. It's why we exist. It's why we do what we do. It's not, you know, for what happened in the past. We can't do anything about that. You know, we can barely do what, you know, make any change and do anything about what's happening at this very moment, but we can't change the future direction of our future generations. And that's why we're here. That's why we come together, is for our kids and those future generations, to protect them and to protect Mother Earth and to care about what it is that we're supposed to be caring about as Native people and as people, as human beings in general. You know, it's like Robert John was telling me this morning, you know, it's, you know, get rid of a lot of things that are happening in this world, is just make the conscious decision to love your mother, to love Mother Earth, to take care of her, and that'll take care of a lot of issues that we have disputes over with as human beings. So, you know, I ask, you know, for everybody to try to bring that spirituality and listen to your elders and bring that into your life and remember those teachings and remember that they're there and they exist there for a reason. And again, I'm thankful for all of you coming out and spending time out of your life with everybody. Aho.
Right now, we'd like to thank Mr. Larry Smith, who is actually from KPFK Radio and is going to be talking about this situation. But Larry was kind enough to come out here and record this, and it'll be all over the place, I'm sure, because Larry does a fine job. Larry and another friend of mine, Marcus Lopez, have had American Indian Airwaves for quite some time, about 20 years now, over 20, 25. Yeah, and it's a really good radio show on KPFK. They are not afraid to speak out on these issues, which is surprising because a lot of radio stations shy away from controversial issues. These two gentlemen do not. And again, give Larry a big thanks. Sometimes when we do these events, I always tell people, I don't care if you don't get along with somebody, because they'll say, well, I say, why can't you be at this event? They say, oh, well, because such and such is going to be there. That's ridiculous. We have to put all that aside, and move forward. The issue is what's important. The issue is what's important. And this issue is clemency for Leonard Peltier. Someone who has been working on this for quite some time also, and we've done an event with her. I would like to bring up our next speaker, Carol Francis, and Carol Francis is from Likens, but she's going to explain all this to you because I don't know what these letters stand for, and ICUJP, so, oh, there you go. So here's Carol Francis. Give her a hand.
Thank you very much, and thank you, AIM, for doing this. It's the Interfaith Communities United for Justice and Peace was founded immediately after 9/11. And it was founded anticipating a backlash against our Muslim brothers and sisters, both in wars over there and Islamophobia over here. We recognize that the struggle for peace is always based on the struggle for justice. And so we worked that into the name, Interfaith Communities United for Justice and Peace. And our motto we took is, religious communities must stop blessing war and violence. If there is any example of religious communities blessing war and violence, it's church complicity in what Buffy St. Marie called the genocide basic to this country's birth, which, as she says in another song, is still going on here today. So the Interfaith Communities United for Justice and Peace has struggled and has recognized the need to not just deal with the wars over there, but the wars at home, not only the militarization of our relationships with the Middle East and other countries, but the militarization of our police in the United States, and in Leonard's case, of course, the FBI on the reservations. So, and Pine Ridge particularly. We recognize that also the need to expand our interfaith work beyond the Abrahamic faith of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, and take in and embrace the religion, the faith that was practiced in the Americas long before the white people ever brought these other religions over here. And we recognize that the indigenous struggles, the faith is based on a connection to the land that we have been so disconnected from. And that's why Leonard's in prison, because of the fact that he has spent his life protecting the land and the people. So we wrote a letter. You can find our open letter to Obama at icujp.org, or just Google ICUJP and Peltier, and it will come right up. We also have copies on the table. Also, heeding the call of the International Committee for Leonard Peltier, we helped organize a event in February for the 40th anniversary of Leonard's incarceration, the International Day of Solidarity with Leonard Peltier. And we look forward to doing more work, hoping to bring more interfaith faces and into these events, and anything that we can do, we want to do it. Thank you. Our
next speaker is, again, a great friend. This gentleman I have known for quite some time. He's an entertainer. He was the drummer for Brûlé for quite some time. He is an actor. He's out here, in fact, doing some work right now. And a big shock to see him here, because we had talked about this, but he didn't think he could make it. And when he showed up, I was just overwhelmed, because I love this gentleman. He's just a great gentleman, and an activist. That's how we met. We started talking, and I found out that he was responsible for the takeover of the BIA office at Pine Ridge in South Dakota. So this man has an incredible history. I want to bring up a very, very good friend of mine, Mr. Moses Brings Plenty from South Dakota, Lakota.
How me daka api. Tashin kumun spampi himachapi. Ash na ko hana chante washte wachizi apolo. Plami awopila wakanta kashla na ko hana le hampetu ki he lila washte. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time to come out here today in support of this very important cause that has been occurring since 1492. We all know the history. We know the brutality, we know the abuse that has all occurred, but here's the number one thing that we all have to keep in mind, and that is we are still here as American Indian people, as Indian people, but most importantly, we are not just Indian people, we are human beings. Human beings from day one, since the great creator breathed life into this planet, we were also given life too. Well, you look at the original ways of who we are as indigenous people, as Indian people, as human beings, and our ways had come from the original creation we call plants and animals today, the highest intelligence of all creatures, of all beings. Now, we talk about equality. Well, ever since I was a kid growing up on a reservation in South Dakota, I had the number one question that I was always burned in my mind and echoed through the hearts of my, through the darkness of my heart. We call it darkness, but to me, darkness is light. Darkness is truth. Darkness is reality. And this question is, I always heard about this individual they call God. Who is this guy? Who is this person, God? They told me about this perfection, the perfection of this individual named God. So my question is, by whose right do you have to come here and tell me that my people's way of life is not the right and only way, or is not a good way? By whose right do you have here to come and incarcerate my people? By whose right can you continue to have my people incarcerated as political prisoners still today? If this God is so perfect, then why did my people have to change? So in other words, you told me, you spoke to me about the perfection of your God, but your actions have shown me that your God is not so perfect. So in other words, I'm sick and tired of your wars that you continue to enforce and continue to do in the name of God. I'm standing here. At one time, I was a scared little boy. At one time. Today, I am a man who is no longer afraid. I'm here in defense and honor of the great Creator's rights. The very rights that my people obeyed and followed from our birth. And I want those rights back because I was denied of those rights. I'm sick and tired of the lies. I'm sick and tired of all of these sweep the issues under the rug moments and times. That has to come to an end. I miss who I am. I want to know who I am. And as long as you keep our relative incarcerated, as long as you keep Leonard Peltier incarcerated, we can never ever take a step towards forgiveness. I'm not here to ask you to release him. I am here to give you the opportunity to work towards forgiveness. So you take that action. Take that action today and let us know that you understand and know that we are the original inhabitants because we haven't forgot. we still remember. And not only do we remember, we are working our way back to living that memory again. One day I will be 100% Indian and it has nothing to do with blood quantum. One day I will be 100% Indian again and it has nothing to do with language. Something that I was not born without. One day I will be 100% Indian, the same way as Crazy Horse, the same way as Sitting Bull, the same way that Peltier, Crow Dog, and all those had stood for. One day I will be that again, and I will be able to show my people how to be Indian and not just tell them about it. And that is my reality. So we have to step up. I'm sick and tired of the segregation that we have amongst us as human beings. When are we going to bring that to an end? When will we live and show the great Creator we understand that you created every single one of us? And we believe in your perfection, so therefore we are going to support you and stand with you in the unity of all of us as human beings, regardless of what race, regardless of what religion, regardless of what nationality or what language we speak, we will come together as human beings again. And that is the reality that we must look at, because we are losing humanity as long as we continue to support the egotistical separation that we have been taught and conditioned to believe is reality, when in fact it is simply an illusion that is destroying us. Come on, people. We have children. We can no longer step backwards because now we are stepping on the feet of our children. And one day we are going to eliminate ourselves. And we have to bring that to an end. Who's with us? Who's with us? It is time. It is time. You have poked the bear long enough. We are awake. We are no longer a sleeping giant. The truth is here. The truth is now. I am not just of the past. I am of the past. I am today, and I will be today for the sake of tomorrow. No one will ever change me no more. I love my people. I love my relatives. And most of all, I honor my ancestors. It is time that we be human again. It is time that we be a being again. As Crow Dog said, it is time that we be the ghost that is on us. So I'm tired of begging for my rights. I am taking back my rights today. And not only do I take back the rights of myself, but I take back the rights for every single human being that desires to be free. Because being free does mean being free. That is how I understand it. I saw a red-tailed hawk flying in LA. And you know what I love about that symbol the most? Is that at the end of the day, that red-tailed hawk is still going to be a red-tailed hawk. One day, I'm going to have that much love and that much compassion for my own existence, that at the end of the day, I will be Indian again. Aho hechitualo, mitako ye oyasi. I want to sing a song. I want to sing a song because yes, Lakshmi Leonard's health is decreasing. Lakshmi Leonard's health is not that good. But you know what? His spirit is strong. Why is his spirit strong? Because of you. As long as you continue to fight, as long as you continue to stand, it nurtures his spirit. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you again. Because of you, he's still strong. Because of you, he's still able to close his eyes and stand at that Sundance tree. But continue to fight, because one day in my lifetime, in his lifetime, he will be free. I believe that. I trust that. ke la ya ka shela ya pe la ma ya la we chani wa shte ma ko ya ka shela pe la ma ya la hai yo Atawa katranka shemola po metaka yelo ya wane wache yelo ya takashila ya takashila chewa ke yelo ya Takashila ya Pela Maya la We chane waste ya Bakuela ya Takashila Pela Maya la Hai Pilame a wopila tanka, oh, hampa to wash the Medako Oyasi.
Moses is going to be a great speaker when he gets over his shyness. No, this young man, the first time I met him was in Arlington, Texas. We were doing a show out in Arlington, Texas, and I just saw this man standing there, and I said, "This man I want to know." And before I was able to go to meet him, he came over to me, and he said, "I want to meet you." And we've been friends ever since. He's a very incredible person, and I'm, again, so proud to call him a friend of mine. We want to do something special. We want to thank one of our AIM members, Menno, for the great sound that we get today. Look at Menno brings this equipment. Menno is a well-known DJ, does a lot of incredible things, and we're always happy to have Menno show up and help us with the sound because he does a great job. He makes us all sound good. Our last speaker is someone who I got to know. A very special thing happened. AIM Southern California decided that we were going to fight the canonization of Junipero Serra. And we went from a couple of the big missions. We started off at Carmel Mission because that's where he's buried. So I figured, what a better place to start this off than Carmel Mission to say, no, this man should not be a saint. But our next event was at, I think, Santa Barbara Mission, which was a big event. And we always work with the tribes that are in that area to get these events happening. But a lady came to me and she said, "You know what I want to do?" She says, "I want to walk from the top mission, Sonoma, all the way from mission to mission and fight the injustice of Junipero Serra becoming a saint." And this woman and her son did this. They walked, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's going to correct me, I think 800 miles from mission to mission. And we tried to meet her, American Indian Movement Southern California, tried to meet her at as many missions as we could. But she went all the way down from Sonoma all the way to San Diego. Incredible thing to do. An incredible woman and her son who was accompanied her. I'm going to bring up both of them. Caroline Holland Ward and Kagan, her son. These people deserve a big round of applause, believe me.
Thank you. Kagan and I decided to come out today to support AIM, Southern California, because they certainly had our backs when we were walking. It was 780 miles. To, first and foremost, to honor our ancestors in a time where we felt that they were being disrespected, and certainly to assert our rejection against the Catholic Church's new saint. One thing that we learned when we got to San Diego was it wasn't about that anymore. It really didn't matter who their saint was, because it wasn't our saint. And that may be part of our history, but it's not all of our history. And it was about tribal relations. We met some awesome people along the way. We are still in connection with all the tribes along California coastline. So rather than there be just one or two or three or four tribes, it's one tribe now. One Southern California band of Mission Indians fighting for what we believe is right. We're here today to support certainly Leonard Peltier and his fight for freedom, as the Americans call it, freedom. Kagan explained to me the other day that it means free to dominate. Free to dominate over people, not our people anymore. This is our land, our land, and they should respect it as such. And our prayers are with Leonard and his family. It's my son, Kagan.
Thank you guys all for coming out. I'm honored to be here in support of Peltier. I'm new to this activism, but I've always felt in my heart that our people, we've been mistreated, but we've always stood together, and that's what makes us one people. We remain together no matter what. And Peltier knows that. Leonard knows that. Wherever he is right now, he knows that there's people gathering all over this country and all over the world demanding that he be set free. And he is one of many of the lightning rods that bring our people together and that keep us together in these hard times. And I'd like to thank him for that right now. Thank you.
Events like this are not done by just one person or two people. There's a whole group of people. I want to thank AIM Southern California, all the people who are great members and who have gone out of their way these last couple of months to put this event together. There was so much planning and so much that we had to do, and permits and all this other stuff. And there's just an incredible amount of work. I want to thank Owen, who is a member of our group. I want to thank Natalie. I want to thank James, who is an incredible person. James is our head of security for Southern California. I want to thank Eric up here. Raise your hand, Eric. As I call you guys, Menno, of course, Shady, who is here somewhere. I don't know where Shady. Oh, there he is. Shady, who is my second in charge of AIM Southern California. I want to thank Lydia, of course, because Lydia has done so much. And Irma, let's see, Irma's here somewhere. Irma is very short, so she's hard to see. Irma's in the kids section right now, I think. Irma, can you get down off the monkey bars and come over and be acknowledged? Come here, Irma. I'm going to bring her out because Irma's my personal assistant, and if it wasn't for Irma, I would be like totally lost. She is the person that calls me 50 times a day and reminds me that I've got to be somewhere and do something. And I would love to tell you that I love Irma, but I don't. I just like her. Did I forget anybody? Who else do we have in AIM Southern California? Oh, Randy, of course.